will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride?
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
Ready, lady. Watch the screen, watch the screen.
A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
Second and 9 at the 17-yard line.
He goes, set! Go to 20! Let's go!
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. He's got a man. Complete. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Galladay. 83 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Dalvin Cook, 3rd year back from Florida State. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean. I mean,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devon Kennard. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
It's a gain of 14 and a 1st down for Detroit.
Let's go.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. Here's a quick throw complete to Galladay. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 44-yard line.
Set. Blue 60. Hey, eat. Rip left.
To throw is Stafford. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up third.
Brings up third and 10.
Set. 180. Check me out. Hey, 54. Yeah, check. Hey, Mike. Hey, no.
Throwing on third down. Stafford. Open man is Galladay. Complete. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. So they'll say no to the 50-yard field goal try. Instead, the offense out there, they're going for it. Now Stafford. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack.
Now, you know I don't often have sympathy for quarterbacks, but in this situation, I don't know what else he could do. Fourth down, so he can't just throw the ball away. He's got to find a way to try and make a play, but the pressure ended up getting to him.
Pressure got to him. Really big sack and a turnover here on downs. Following the interception, Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. His fourth touchdown on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on fourth, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the number one headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the Vikings' 36-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Stafford. Throw left side complete. That's James. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the gun, here's Stafford. He's got his man. It's Curse. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
So now they assess a 3rd and long, and that holding call might have knocked him out of field goal range, at least for the moment. Throwing is Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 25-yard line. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. it's a mental aspect that's going on, because right now he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
Set. 180. Check like 39.
Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. On 2nd and 9, Cousins. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Credit the sack to Brandon Marshall.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker, has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. And he's going to go down in the end zone. Cousins taken down for the safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems. And this qualifies as a big problem.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
After one, our score 9-6.
Ready. 280.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. And this is incomplete.
Intended for Jermaine First. Incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Hey, check Mike 39. Hey, Echo.
To throw again. Stafford fighting a safety valve here. That's complete. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
Hey, 70. Check Mike 39. Check Mike 39. Coming to you. Coming to you. Hey, 70.
From the 50, it's Stafford. He's got Fuller. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards, the final tally. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Kerryon Johnson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Prater for the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
that is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Listen to me. 56.
First down. Here's Cousins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 40-yard line.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Again, it's Cousins. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And he'll take it across midfield and down the 48-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Hey, 180. Hey, 50.
After the interception, here's Stafford. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Kentrell Brothers coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stuff. It's complete to Fuller. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different.
Touchdown, Vikings! Stephon Diggs with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point up and good by Bailey, and that will get him one closer. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll run with McKissick, and he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Stafford now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's first and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice kick, boy.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up second and 5 at the 42-yard line.
Lady! Hey, that QB's tracks. Let's go.
Second and 5 now. Stafford. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's McKissick. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. It's a first down following a gain of 3. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And he'll be taken down at the 26. 25 yards the pickup there and also a first down. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, second and 10. They go back to the ground with Johnson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down. Now it's Stafford. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We're down 3 under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But boy, getting into field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
Throwing again on second and 10. Cousins. Left side caught by Diggs. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So first and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, here's Cousins. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. There he goes, right side. And he will bring it back. An interception return for the Lions. Touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Extra point good by Prater. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
That's it, baby. We go work.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. He's picked off just shy of midfield.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. He'll get this one to Galladay. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Stafford on 1st down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Check 52, 6-6. Pull it.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And now a timeout defensively after that 1st down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This is less than an extra point, just a 19-yard attempt. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mike Daniels picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Throwing, Cousins. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Basically, you're not going to outwork 2 guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else with the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
Hey, go here! Check Mike 39. Hey, middle. White. Twitch. Hey, dude.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Flush to his right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Jermaine Kearse, his second touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
Recon, 132 fighter. Hey, 5-0. Mike 42, Mike 42. Hey, easy. Mike 42. Hey, box truck. Mike 42.
The shotgun snap for Stafford. And he's got it. So the try for two successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? The offense take care of the defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Going to run with Madison again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just a 1 yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on fourth down.
Hey, watch it. Hey, Ringo 48.
They're going for it. Here's Madison. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give them a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. From the 30 on second down, Stafford. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. Cousins now just 5 of 16 throwing the ball, but he's got a 1st and 10. Cousins now, and Diggs has it. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Cousins. Looking left side, and it's complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 42. Cousins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Able to find the rookie from Ohio State, Paris Campbell. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 yards, first down, Vikings. To throw, Cousins. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 12 yards there, first down, Vikings. From the red zone now, Cousins. And he'll get into the end zone zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. From 13 yards out. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Well, yes, that's his third touchdown catch, which is very impressive. But on the scoreboard, they're still struggling.
So safe to say that without him, my goodness, yikes, they are in major league trouble. He's doing his best to try and keep them in the game.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number one because margin for error is starting to slip away. Now it's down to a one-score game.
11 yards there and a Lion first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Stafford. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Stafford, open man has got it there, complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 1st down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. Stafford now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 49-yard line.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground, and the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try to cut down the length of the drive.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Watch the safe play here, Omaha. Zebra.
Cousins to throw it. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But to drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away this timing.
It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt that in-between range, and they'll go for it on fourth down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Cousins to throw for it on fourth. Escaping, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Mike Daniels, and the Lions will take over. And that makes him now 0 for 3 on fourth down attempts.
A lot of people would say they're showing a lot of guts going for it this many times on fourth down. I think they'd have to start thinking with their head a little bit more than with their gut and their emotions, because it's not working for them. They've got to figure out what's been going wrong.
And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. It's a gain of 35.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss, but with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. And between the last two plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of over...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Prater for the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time they were stopped on fourth down, had a drive stalled out. We'll see how they respond this go-around.
I'm eager to see what their mindset is, because moving the ball, feeling good, and then that abrupt stop on fourth down, do they go back to the bench and go, oh, boy, they've got something for us? Or do they go to the bench and say, we blew it ourselves, let's get back out there and move the ball again?
And is it different when you get stopped on fourth versus punt? Is that more motivation for the defense, a little more confidence?
I think as a defense, you're so excited with a fourth down stop. Making them punt, that's your goal anyway. But a fourth down stop, that's almost a sign of disrespect that they went for it in the first place. And when you get that, you feel great about yourselves.
Kirk Cousins last year started all 16 games, but only led the Vikes to just one fourth-quarter comeback like he's trying to do here. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one good for 37 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Cousins. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. But it'll be second and goal. Another shot from the 9 on second and goal.
Gun. 50 seconds. Bravo. Let's 50.
They'll throw again. Cousins. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. Stafford now, perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's first and 10. Now Stafford. He's going to loft one deep, and that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 37 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long. And I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them. And now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Play action. Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Everson Griffin in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that is incomplete. Now it's Matt Prater on for the Lion field goal try. This to make it a 3-score game late. And this one is right down the middle. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah. Will they make up for it? And now here's a deep shot that's complete. Touchdown, Vikings! Laquan Treadwell, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Throwing is Cousins, and he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Stafford. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Cousins, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Josh Bynes in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. Cousins in the offense is going to stay out there. They're going to try on 4th down. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position.
Set up. 60 outlaw. It's our time. It's our time.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes.
Set, ready? 15, line. 15, line. Come on, D! 5.
And they will take a knee here.
A loss of a yard. It's now 3rd and 13.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Detroit, they're into the win column for the 3rd time this year as they get the victory here. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver, I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. Someone tell the risk I was never worth it. I would never get this off my chest, no. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Always I would never underestimate. Oh, barely my best.
got bags from Prada. Rolling up, I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we back up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash and love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top on the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash and love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
S-T-R-O. Yeah. How many of y'all came to win? Oh, they asking my name, huh? You ready? S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you. Yeah. Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up. Yeah.